I'll just give it a couple more minutes, guys, 'cause I've not got that many people that have dialed in just yet, so I'll just give it another minute or so before we make a start.
Hello.
Hi, who's that on the guest line?
Hi, it's Richard from SMB Digital.
Hi, Richard, cheers.
Hiya.
Right, I think in the interest of time, I'll make a start because obviously we're eating into the review time. Probably won't take the full hour, but I guess anyone that we're going to join will probably be dialed in by now, so it might be a relatively quick call. But we'll make a start and then we'll see how we get along. Okay, thanks everyone for joining. So this is the September service review, obviously reviewing August data. So we'll go through the slide deck as normal, and then any point along the way, if anyone's got any comments to add or anything, please jump in and we'll just review from there. Okay, so performance this month from an incident point of view was pretty good. Weren't quite 100%, but we're still within the fixed target of 90% on incidents. So there were 12 that came in. We had one failure, which resulted in us being at 92%. Availability, as with previous months, at 100%, which is good. No critical or high incidents, which again is pretty good. So obviously we've got no mean time to repair or mean time between incidents on critical or high. And then mean time between incidents on all priorities was 62, which is pretty good. It's the best it's been other than June for the last 5 months. So pretty positive numbers really, and nothing really, I guess, because there's not many failures. And no high incidents, not really much to discuss. I guess the slide kind of speaks for itself. So, I don't know, David, have you got any comments to add on that? Because obviously you see what comes in more than anyone. I don't know.
I don't have comments.
No. Okay. Thank you.
Well, sorry. One thing, if I would like to talk about the incident we had during the last month related with the installation of the new certificate by Cognizant team. As you know, we had an desirable situation. Cognizant made changes to the platform, and they didn't communicate to the rest of the teams. So we received the notification when the incident occurred. So I think that we should have in this case is more communication, and besides from now on, in order to assess any change that comes from your side, we would like to, or I want to request receive a CR document that includes the planning and contacts of the team, which will carry out the work, and the document has to have the steps or tasks to be done, and this document must be sent a minimum 7 days labor days, and to proceed with the change, you must receive our approval. I don't know if you are agree with this.
Yeah, I think that's the way it should work. We need to make sure that any changes of any description, we've given everybody enough time to review before approval. But I thought on that one that it was just, I think the communication did go out. I'm just not sure if it went out to the right people.
Yeah, it did, mate. They apologised. Obviously, we share your views there, David. They did apologise. They sent out the comms well in advance, but they sent it to people. Can you remember Raquel? Is it Raquel Cabrera? I think she used to work in your build team before Inigo. To her, to other people that basically have either left the business or don't work in.
I know it was a mistake because Raquel is not working with us anymore.
Yeah.
And Inigo didn't receive the communication. I know maybe this was a problem, but we will know that everybody now knows that situation, and we have to improve the communication and take care of the people in copy of the communications on the emails.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think, Paul, didn't we request that to be done anyway?
We've told them who to communicate,
and
to engage going forward. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the main breakdown in that process where we can accept that some people might not have the up-to-date contact list, but I think when they don't get their approval back, that's when I share your views, David. It should halt right there and then until they've managed to get that. But yeah, hopefully the steps we've put in place since then should prevent it from happening again. So it's just a case of playing it by ear, I guess, and waiting for the next one to make sure it all goes smoothly.
Yeah.
Okay, cheers for that, guys. So the next slide, I don't think we've got anyone on that spoke about these last time, because I know I've not heard Christina join us.
I don't think. Is Christina?
No, Christina is not joined, but no. I don't know if Mar can give us a brief status of this.
I did see a report that showed that, again, that the discrepancy had dropped and it had continued to trend downwards as we'd hoped. So I did see a report on that regarding the 365 license synchronization. So I don't think there's anything, that's a concern on that. Mar, if you do know anything or you've got any
Yes.
updates.
Hi, this is Mar. Well, Christina is in Munich in a congress with Odin. Here we are working with NEC, with the support to fix the and synchronize the license between Microsoft and the platform. Okay, so they are currently working on it.
Yeah, it is. Like I say, the reports I've seen are all trending in the right direction. So we'll leave it on, given that we need to keep monitoring that. But I've not got no concerns with that in its current state, given the fact that the numbers are all going in the right direction.
Well, I think they know what they have to do, but it's very slow process, so it takes time.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the next one. So the last update I got from Phil was that the meeting was held by Box in July, and a number of topics were covered. Positive responses were received, but no commitment on timescales as yet. And I've had no further update. And I don't think unless anyone's joined, so I can't see who else has joined. I've not got a further update on that as yet, unfortunately.
No one else has joined, mate.
Right. Okay.
Oh, well, Khalil has, sorry, but Khalil won't know about that.
Okay, so the next one's the roadmap. I know Christina's normally goes through this as well. I don't know, Mar, I don't need to put you on the spot if there's anything you want to call out regarding the roadmap.
Yes, I will send the roadmap update after the meeting, okay? But the question here is that so far we are not sure about the delivery date, okay? Because the truth is, I think Christina was talking in Munich with the Odin team, try to move forward with the project, okay? And also we have finished the GDPR upgrade, and we already have the new SKUs for Office 365. Okay, so these things are already done, and the next thing that we have to prioritize is the new agreement with Microsoft that they require from the platform that we send information about who is signing the term and conditions in the contracts with Microsoft. So we have to change the platform to adapt to this new requirement, and the date target to have this in production is the 7th of November. Of course, it's a little hard to have this change ready for this date. So we are working with Odin to change Drop 2 and also the API with Microsoft to adapt the new requirement. We don't know when we'll have these changes ready, but we are working to have as soon as possible.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much for that. As far as Sophos goes, I wasn't on the latest call this week, so I had a clash, so I can't really add to anything on that one with the current state. So I'll just move on. So that's just, further going over what we've just talked about. So these are new slides that I've added this month. I've managed to get some customer satisfaction, dissatisfaction data from Simon. I was hoping he might have joined today because he normally sends his apologies when he can't, for him to maybe talk through these two slides, because other than the colours, which are obvious, I guess, I can't really add much more value. I think from what I've spoke to Simon about regarding these, the data they're getting back still isn't of vast numbers, so it could look potentially worse than it is or better than it is, because we're not getting the returns that we'd hope. I think it was 16 this time around. So yeah, the data's not great yet, but obviously that's something that we're hoping is going to improve, and it's good to have it in here as a visual. If Simon can't join the next call, I'll get him to provide some commentary as per his thoughts on the data. But I think it's a good, Paul, you called out, it'd be good to get it in here. So we've got it in, but yeah, like I say, at the moment, without the commentary and the right number of responses, it is difficult to kind of quantify it really.
Yeah, fair enough.
And that's just some further. There were some interesting, I did get the verbatim comments as well. There was interesting comments, quite raw, because obviously they're coming straight from customers that had probably maybe not had the best of experiences. So they made some interesting reading. But I didn't include them on here because I didn't think it was appropriate really. So
right.
This gives a view of, I think, especially the bottom left. We took NPS score, full detractors, kind of says a lot about what the comments kind of alluded to as well. Right. But like I say, it'd be good just to have Simon on to talk about this next time. So
yeah, because I suspect some of it, or the sentiment, is regarding the initial account setup, maybe.
Yeah, that was some that I saw. And others were
support.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it was more. Yeah, a lot of the comments were more like, some along those lines. Some were regarding the fact that they didn't even want to be surveyed, and they said they didn't. So I think there's just a few TV things in there. There's nothing that I read, that said support's awful, and I can't, anything along those lines. So that was positive at least.
Okay.
So service improvements, there's nothing on there as yet, which I guess is good in one way, because it means we feel like everything's going as it should. But there's always opportunities, so we can all just keep his eyes out. I will as well. And then if there's anything that we think we need to work on as a collective group, I'll happily add it in here and track it and drive the updates. So yeah, just feel free to reach out to me separately, and we can add anything on there that we need to, or obviously, if anyone's got anything now that they think would be good for us to track via this, then you can shout out now. Okay, and then the risk on there, I guess that's just for awareness at this point. So we'll move on to the actions. So first action there with Simon around customer sat, dissat. So I'm going to close this off now, I think, because obviously we're now getting the figures and we're going to include them in the monthly meeting. So that's good. So we don't really need to have that action open. The next one down, I'll need another update from Phil on to see where we are, if we've got any commitment on timescales for the box undefined status issue. He gave me an update just prior to the meeting last month, but like I say, I've not got nothing as yet. Action 61, so we've got bypassing the TGS for platform related issues to speed up resolution. I got an out of office from Guido, so I've got no update on that, unfortunately, but I think we said it was H2 of 2018, so that still gives us another few months before we have missed the target status on that one anyway. Action 63, obviously we've just been through, and Mark gave a brief update on that, so we'll get some more information ready for the next meeting to make sure those numbers are all still tracking in the right direction, as they have been since the report's been created and the initial work's been done. And then the final action on there, so was around the NEC system monitoring. I know we had the issue whereby resources weren't correctly in place, so and a high priority incident was missed because we didn't pick the alarm up. So David gave the update last month to say that they'd obviously restructured the team slightly to ensure that they had more resources available should they require them. So I think in the interest of how important that action was, we're going to leave it on there. Obviously the status, as you can see, is set to monitor. There's no action required as such. It's just something that I think we just need to leave on there for awareness and for monitoring purposes because of the high profile nature of the issue that took place previously. So in terms of the pack, I promised you a relatively quick session. That is it. So I know we've got many people on, but is there any other business that anybody wants me to add on to the actions, or while we've got this group together, wanted to discuss before we close the call down?
Nothing from me, mate.
No, nothing.
No, great. Well, thank you very much for your time, guys. I will update the next meeting and send an invite out shortly, and I'll pop the slides on the share when I've made a few brief updates to them. But if there's any actions against anyone's names or anything, if you can just try your best to provide me with an update before the next call, that'd be great. And if I don't speak to anyone before, I will speak to you next month. And thank you all very much once again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.